All right. Oh my God. The Ho family is here. The Hoes. I
love ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho. I love my hoes. You guys, how many terrible jokes have been made in your lifetimes? By the way, HBO Max has this awesome reality show based on Crazy Rich Asians called House of Ho. Aunt Tina is here. We'll get to that. Everybody wants to party all night with Aunt Tina and do like coke off every bathroom in Vegas. I mean, they are ready to go out with you. And Judy, the fabulous Judy Ho is on. So, ladies, I have the Ho. Are you over the Ho jokes? I feel like, God, from the time you were like 2, Judy, people must be making jokes.
We were born as hoes. So I feel like we're used to it. They don't faze me at all. At all.
Me too. I said, there it is. That's us.
I'm proud to be a hoe.
Yeah.
Aunt Tina, I mean, you are like one of the breakout stars of this show, and you seem to have zero fucks to give. You say it. I mean,
exactly.
you seem like, but wait a minute. We're in this crazy, hyper, sensitive time. Have you gotten backlash? I mean, basically, you made a joke about Me Too. I thought you were hilarious, by the way. You basically call men stupid, and you know how to hit it. You have great sex. Any backlash, or you don't give a shit?
I don't give a shit. It's me, for me, and I do it. If you're in the circle, you stay. If you don't, you can walk out anytime you want. Doesn't matter.
Aunt Tina, when Ben first met you, he must have been blown away. Like, what family am I marrying into? I mean, because your sister, Mrs. Ho, seems a little bit more reserved, but you must have walked in. I mean, have you been giving Ben a hard time his whole life?
Mm-hmm. All the time. Have to. He's the old. I'm the new. I mean, even I was there too, but then I said, come on, move on. Because to me, I get bored very fast. I have to move on. I can go to the next one. I think my favorite phrase in my friends when I hang out, when Tina doesn't like anything, next. I don't want to waste time.
Next.
Tina, what's the deal too with you? Are you married or are you dating? What's it? You are?
That depends. Where and when and how.
Depends on who's asking.
Right. Hello.
So how long have you been married? How long have you been married?
Forever.
Are we going to see your husband? Do we see your husband more? Or not really? Because you kind of act single on the show.
I am always single as the weather, but even sometimes Judy said, oh my God. Or Leslie said, do I ever see your husband? Is he married? Is she married or something? She asked, I think she asked Washington.
Oh no, where'd they go? No, I wanted to hear about the husband. Hold on.
Oh, are they back? They're back.
We had to move locations. Is that okay?
Oh yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Totally fine. Let me remove myself real quick.
Okay, perfect. Nope, that looks good. I love it. And then midway through the broadcast, you guys will just have a whole new background. It'll be perfect. Anyway, it's all good. Okay, well, Judy, I love you on the show too. You're authentic. You call out your brother. I mean, guys, go back and tell us, how did you all have like a production company friend? How did this show get picked up?
The show got picked up because after Crazy Rich Asians movie, that got really popular, and there were some producers that were thinking, this would make a great reality show. The hard part would be finding an Asian family that would be willing to showcase their life. Asian people in general are very private. They don't like to show, obviously any dirty laundry or anything about their life,
Especially divorce. That's the problem.
Yes.
Yeah. So a producer friend of Washington's in Hollywood had heard about Washington, and they set up a meeting with him, and they met the rest of us, and they said, you guys would be perfect.
And as a family, did you decide, because one of the things that like Kris Jenner and the Kardashians always say is they collectively got together and decided that they were going to air it all. I mean, do we see really enough of you guys? Like, did everybody agree you would go there, or was there some hesitations?
I think in the beginning, me and Aunt Tina were the first people who were like, if we're signing up for this, we're going to put it all out there. Mm-hmm. So I feel like Leslie and Wash, they were going through some marital issues, and Leslie hadn't even shared her issues with her own family back home in Oklahoma. So they were very hesitant to put that out there. But, I feel like halfway through they got more comfortable, and there's a lot of trust that you put into these producers because you don't know how they're going to edit it or make you sound.
True.
So I feel like once they developed that trust with the producers, they were more willing to put it out there.
And, we'll get to Washington and Leslie because so much has changed in their relationship since, season 1 has, wrapped. But so, Judy, tell me this. What about your ex-husband? Did he have any reservations? Because you obviously have kids. I mean, was he fine with it?
I chose to focus on the fact that I was moving on from my divorce. So I decided not to just speak to him about those kind of issues.
Did you tell him you were shooting a reality show or you're nah? I'll just wait till it comes.
Well, he knew what was happening, but at no point in time did we have a conversation about it. And I was like, I'm just going to focus on the new me.
And okay, and I think people are always curious about you and Dr. Nathan now. Dr. Nate, you guys are still engaged.
We are still together, but we're not engaged.
Okay, so what happened? Why'd you pull back from the engagement?
Well, you could see if you saw my dad's face on episode 7, I just felt like we need a little bit more time for my dad and Nate to get to know each other and feel more comfortable.
No, I think that's smart.
That's a good one. I told her exactly. I know that I tried to call out my brother about all this shitty old school and new school. Come on. But then, I think it is better for Nate, between Nate and her dad, that he shows a little bit of respect that way. Even, it's all about Judy. It's all about Judy.
Yeah.
I'm told my brother all the time. But it's a good thing that if they do that, good for you. If they don't do that, you just have to suck it in because it's all about Judy life.
And Judy, how long have you and Nate been seeing each other? Because I'm assuming, it probably hasn't been that long, right? A year, a little over a year?
It's been a year.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm excited to see where that goes because you seem very happy. I mean, have you kept the ring or what happens did you have to give the ring back? Don't give the ring back.
I gave the ring back. I just don't want that pressure on me.
You did. You gave it back.
I gave it back to him. We're not engaged.
Honestly, Judy, you could buy your own. So 8 times over.
Yeah, that's the whole one. If they don't want it, trust me, nothing gonna make them want it. But she's not ready for that pressure. It's good.
Tina, you're right. You can't force it, right? You can't force it. My husband and I dated for 5 years before we were on again, off again before we really made the decision. You have to be ready. Both do.
Yeah. We don't need all that stuff. Nada. Nothing.
No, you don't. You're right. 100%. Okay. Now, all of you have amazing careers. And then I want to get into talking about, just you guys have a huge burden in some ways because you are the first Vietnamese family to have this show. You're representing an Asian culture. But Judy, tell me this. You're very smart. You're an attorney. Are you going back to practicing law at all or no, focusing on your family?
Go back to work. I don't know if it's going to be a corporate attorney type of, work again, or if I'm going to pursue other avenues. But one of the reasons I chose to get a law degree is you can't go wrong having a law degree. Every business deal my parents go into, there's always lawyers involved. So I just feel like there's a lot of opportunities I could pursue at this point.
I love it. And Tina, I had read that you had actually started and you owned liquor stores. Was that?
Yeah, I did.
How many?
That's how I started, just joking. In the 80s.
In the 80s?
Right. Uh-huh.
So down in Houston, did you own liquor store in the Houston area?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
Tina,
everything's from Houston.
You must have been a trip going in there to buy a 5th of vodka from you.
She probably open it right there and drink it.
Yes, you know what? We can try the half pint first, and then you can buy a gallon.
That's smart.
I do that all the time. I'm serious. That's how I run business, and they love me to death. I don't know, maybe because I'm just a generous person, but I guess I'm, just like my personality, you have to like it to get it.
Oh, yeah.
So I said, yeah, it's free, try it. And they like it. I said, back then you cannot drink in the store, but I let them do. It's fun.
How many years? Because that's really how you kind of started making your money, right? You owned a couple of liquor stores. Did you end up selling them, I'm assuming, and then got into hair?
I sell them. I pursued my other career, which is the head beautician. I want to open my own salon. That's what I did. In my salon, I have a tanning salon. And then on top of that, I have a bikini swimming suit or stuff right next to it because they're all connected. You had to be beautiful, you had to be tan, and then wear my bikini. It's all in one transaction. Somehow they're going to spend money on it anyway. It just makes them good.
You all are brilliant. How has the cultural pressure been? You are a Vietnamese family. You're obviously, some members are very traditional. Also, you've really embraced American life. How do you guys feel about that? Like, because there's so much discussion about comparing it to Crazy Rich Asians, and also that you're sort of the first family pulling that back. Do you guys feel an obligation to, keep up a certain reputation, or how do you feel that weight is?
Well, for me personally, I don't feel that weight as much. I feel like once I signed on for this show, I was like, I'm going to represent myself and my family and not put that weight of representing all Asians, because even within the Asian community, there's so many different cultures and ethnicities. Right. And I'm like, it would be impossible for me to represent everyone.
Myself, I never feel pressure. This is the way it is. You like it or you don't like it. We feel comfortable. Oh. I actually see them so comfortable. And I said, must be just the way we are. Mm-hmm. I mean, we don't have to pretend, or we don't have to act like one of them or one of these, or have to go along with the culture. I think they are so comfortable to be who they are. Mm-hmm. And just exactly how I feel, because I never been in that. Oh, that's too crazy. I say, Washington, that is too much. But isn't that? I'm going to tell you how I feel. It doesn't matter, because I don't have to pretend.
Tina, are you going to write a book? I mean, you really do give zero fucks. You're obviously great in...
I give zero fucks. Exactly.
You're apparently great in bed. You've kept your husband for years. I mean, obviously, what are some of your tips for great sex? I mean, you're amazing.
Oh God, that's going to be a second book. Zero fuck or a lot of fucks. Either one. Series 1 or Series 2.
Zero fucks to a lot of fucks.
Yes.
But Tina, how did you get to a place? Because it is tough to be on television. I'm sure people, have a lot of thoughts about you all. How do you get to a place where you don't care?
I just think everyone has the right to feel and to live and to embrace what they want to be or they love to be. I think it's a passion. Like, love yourself, you love everything. It doesn't matter. You can go to the bad day, good day, but at the end of the day, it's going to be Tina. I'm going to go ahead and have a sip of the wine, and I don't give a fuck about anything else. I'm going to enjoy my wine, and then I'm going to drink, and I'm going to watch whatever I want. It doesn't bother me. You like me, I'm still in your head. You don't like me, I'm still in your head. So it's going to be my head. I don't care about anything.
What a great attitude.
Everything is settled. I'm fine with that.
I have a lot to learn.
What can you do
too.
at the end of the day? You cannot change the world. You cannot change the whole thing. You just have to be yourself, and then you go on with the next day. You say, okay, tomorrow I'm going to start all over. If it doesn't come out the way it is, I'm just doing the way it is. And then the next day, if it's not, it's not.
Well, I say that because I wonder, do you worry about the impact the show might have on your businesses? Obviously, you guys are very successful. Your father your dad made his money in real estate and banking. So, and you all own companies. So I just wondered, with the housewives, lots of times the behind the scenes is sometimes their businesses are impacted. Have you guys had any impact in a bad way?
I haven't had any negative impact. I think my day-to-day life as a mom, I try to shield my kids from any negativity.
Yeah.
So sometimes, if I meet another mom, she's like, oh, I feel like I know you because I've watched the show. I'm just like, well, that's not everyday life for me.
It's so good. And I mean, Tina, you're into bikinis and liquor. So, I mean, your audience is only going to love you more. I mean, you're like, you've got the right audience.
Right.
But you know what? It's so funny. A few days ago, some of my fans asked me, where do you stop? Where do you work? Can I come over there? Oh. And they said, why don't you just advertise? I said, shit. And then I have no time to drink. If all my clients start coming in, all the thousands of fans want to do hair. What the hell? No, that's too much. I'll just keep the way it is. I just want to relax, enjoy whatever it is I can come. I don't want to be too much of that, honestly.
I want to talk about Washington and Leslie. Obviously, a big point of, one of the dramatic moments of season 1 is Washington sort of saying he married her for insurance. I mean, it was kind of hard. It was pretty difficult to hear that, as like a woman and, you feel for Leslie. Obviously he was drinking. And I believe I had read, is he sober now 1 year or a little over 1 year?
A little over 1 year.
Over 1 year. I'm so impressed.
I know that was like a big transformation.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Obviously the way you guys described it and his whole like lifestyle before was centered around drinking. So that's huge.
Yeah, it is huge for someone like Washington to have that history that he did, to say no to all of that for the sake of his wife. And
even
he
went out with me on my Wednesday birthday.
Yeah.
And he's good. And he like, I'm
He-
sipping water with Antina. What are you drinking, Antina? A mojito? I said, yeah, I'm sipping water and you're drinking mojito. I said, that's how life is.
So
Next.
how is their marriage doing? I'm assuming I had read better since he has been sober. So are they in a good place? Where are they at?
I think they're in a much
Awesome.
better place because he quit drinking. When she doesn't have to deal with worrying about his drinking, worrying about him coming out and what he's going to be like when he comes home from one of those nights, that takes a lot of the burden off of her so that they can just enjoy being together.
Oh my gosh, 100%. A lot of people are asking too, your other brother Reagan was a big topic of discussion. People wanted to see him, wanted to see more of him. Do you think that date him? Yes.
I'm dating Reagan because a lot of my friends said the same thing. Is Reagan still available?
Is Reagan single?
Is he single? And then can you help out as a girl? I said, excuse me? That's my nephew you're talking about, not just anybody. Okay. And then they said, oh yeah. And they just all want to date him.
Yeah.
He getting more popular than Washington now. Yay.
Oh God, that's not going to go over well with Washington. I don't see that.
Yeah.
I don't see that.
I can see that. Because Washington used to be there, but he's not single anymore.
Yeah.
And he cannot drink, so there's no party for you.
So how is Reagan doing? Is he dating anybody? Like any?
He's still single right now.
Yes.
He lives that bachelor life and he really enjoys being single. I think he sees what Wash and Leslie go through and me going through a divorce. And he's like, no thanks.
Not interested.
Not yet.
So I had read too that he is sort of more at odds, Judy, with your dad, that he doesn't really agree with some of the traditional values, which is why we don't see a lot of him on season 1. Is there any truth to that?
I think that is true because, originally he didn't sign on for the show because, number one, he's not a fan of reality shows and he was worried about how we would all be edited and portrayed. And he was like, that's y'all's thing. But, my mom really wanted him to be a part of the show, just show up for at least one scene.
Yes.
So, into hunting and fishing. So they made the concession like, hey, we'll just show you hunting. And then he showed up and they bombarded him with all the, marriage questions.
And then he's like, okay. I'm
single. That's how it. And her mom wanted to be like as one, like a unit, as a family. So at least she wanted to show the world that she had 3 kids, 2 good boys, and a beautiful girl. So that's how she is. So Reagan did a good job to make her mom happy.
So Reagan's probably out of the 3 of us, the one that's the most that's not. I say on the show he doesn't drink the Kool-Aid, and that's very true. My dad and my mom, they have their ways, and me and Washington happen to fall in line more often. But Reagan's one who's always thinking for himself and more independent, and he just does whatever he wants.
And how have your parents handled? They're okay with it. They ultimately
the show
or Reagan kind of doing his own thing.
I don't have a choice.
They don't have
They
they don't have a choice.
I would grow up just like Reagan. My daddy doesn't have a choice. So I think every family have one.
Yeah.
Uncle Reagan or Aunt Tina. That's it. So my family have me and her family have Reagan.
Right.
Like, exactly like that. I don't give whatever it is. I don't give a fuck. And I'm going to say, I'm going to do what I want. Don't tell me what to do and how to do it. Mm-hmm. Exactly how Reagan is. If I don't see, I don't believe. Exactly, Reagan.
So guys, we hear and we've heard like Anthony Anderson came to Washington and Leslie's wedding, but I've also read that you all have a fair amount of celebrity friends. Are we going to see more celebrity friends on the show the next season? Is that true?
Well, season 2 is not confirmed yet, so we don't even know if that's happening. But Washington is the one that has the celebrity friends. If you follow his social media, he's got so many friends and so many people in the industry. Those are things that may happen or may not happen. I don't know if season 2 is even happening.
I know. Hopefully.
2? Are you ready for the season 2?
I don't have that much drama anymore in my life. Everything's happy, and I know people probably are thinking maybe a wedding,
Engagement, wedding, maybe another baby.
Not for me. For Wash and Leslie, there might be another baby.
Not for you?
No, I'm done. I'm done.
I think there's plenty of drama. I think there's
never.
I think you guys definitely are making, you'll have plenty of drama. And then the other, I always love like stories, insider stories and like connecting the dots. And I also read you all have a connection with Armani. I don't know if what is that connection?
Oh, that's because Washington shops there so much. He's like one of their preferred clients. So when they have fashion shows and events, they invite him to those events.
So he's like front row at Fashion Week all the time with Armani.
Not all the time, but
all the time.
Yeah, the last couple events he's been there. Yeah.
Wow.
With Washington, anything could happen. Trust me. Wherever he go, all his BS, whatever it is, it matters.
But I mean, imagine we were just this, little Vietnamese family in Houston, Texas, and somehow we're on a reality show on HBO Max because of Washington's connection. So who knows?
No, Washington's he's where it's at. He's where it's at. And is Washington getting more in? So, okay, Washington sort of runs your dad's business now, right? The commercial real estate, the banking, or does he have his own projects?
Actually, all three of us help run it because we also have hotels and Reagan manages the hotels. When there's any type of paperwork, legal work that needs to be done, I take care of that. And Washington is the one that actually meets with clients and runs the actual meetings and stuff like that. But the final say so and all decisions obviously goes to Papa.
Daddy.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm so excited. I hope you guys get a season 2. I mean, you're so great to watch. It's amazing to come into your life. And Tina, you celebrate your birthday every single Wednesday.
Exactly. Never go wrong with that. I do that for years.
I mean, you...
And on the show, when I just saying that just because I want to be who I am, and it become... Everybody noticed that. I said, really? Yeah. And then all my coworkers say, oh my God, you actually did that. And they remember because every Wednesday I go out either with the client or with the coworker and drink. And then I say, it's my birthday. I'm allowed to get a drink, even during work or lunch break.
Even during my lunch break. I mean, you're amazing. You celebrate life every single day, Tina, and it's awesome to watch. And I hope on season 2. I mean, I'm so curious about your husband. I need to meet. I mean, who the man that is married to you for all these years? I mean, what he must be like.
He's very quiet.
He's a totally not even there.
The opposite of her.
Mm-hmm.
He's totally not even there. Okay. I know how you guys, the yin and the yang of how you work. It's unreal.
He stay in the yin and I stay in the yang. We do not make a Blood Mary drink. No, that's the way it is. I just live my life the way it is. And at the end of the day, I know what is my role and I do the right thing. I raise a kid and I keep everybody happy, but I still have to live my life.
Oh, hell yes.
Anybody join my life if they don't want to. And my husband, he said he's okay with that.
And Tina, do you guys have kids or no?
2.
Oh my God, we better see them too. I need to see
your kids. God.
They want nothing to do with the show.
They don't.
One's like a dentist and the other one's like a banker and they're just like, oh, keep us out of that.
Mm-hmm.
Tina, oh my God, your kids must be fire. I mean, are they like you? Do they have your personality? They just don't know?
Super quiet and just very nerdy and they keep to themselves.
They're opposite of what I do.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why I never been in social this much because I have a lot of life to live out there and I don't want them to be like seeing that if they don't choose to do it. But once in a while they crash into that, my social life a little bit. Like, Mom, my friend said that they see you over there and I see you over there. And I said, oh yeah, I go hang out with my friend. They say, I know who your friend is, but like once in a while we try not to do that. That's why I'm not on the Instagram. I took off my account.
Now she's back on.
Now I'm back on.
I was going to say, yeah, I just saw you.
My friends are too crazy. If I don't get one, they probably kill me. So I just go ahead. You know what? I'm partying. So what? Join me in the circle.
Her fans are so crazy. Anytime we go anywhere, it's like, it's Tina.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
They recognize everywhere.
Everywhere she goes.
I know you're blessed. I mean, you have you just have that attitude that everyone wants to be around. And you are a hairstylist. And I had also read that you've done a lot of celebrity clients. Is that right? Do you have any clients that you can share?
Yeah, here and there I do. And we try to keep it a little bit private because they live in the river up and a little bit more like
no one wants to be named. Ladies, okay, it's so amazing. You guys are terrific. The show has been a huge hit and lots of people are talking about it. We're really hoping for a season 2. I love your life. I mean, you guys live this lavish lifestyle, which Judy, I think was awesome. You said, it looks great from the outside, but it's not so awesome all the time.
I think that's everyone,
it's normal.
On social media, on Instagram, everyone shows it's a highlight reel. It's a very small glimpse, but the day-to-day life, I was going through a divorce while we were filming. It was very fresh and raw. And there were a lot of days that were hard for me to show up and film and act happy.
And I mean, I think money obviously helps life in some ways, but it certainly doesn't make you exempt from all the emotional things that happen.
Right. I think a lot of people, if they hear me complain, they're like, oh, you have all this money, you shouldn't complain. But, that's something that I'm working through. And I'm like, just because, I live a different life doesn't mean that I also, have moments where I'm unhappy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Money stay in the bank. The heart stay in your stuff. So the money stay in the bank. It have nothing to do with it. If you have a good heart, you have everything in yourself, everything's good.
I have one last question for you. I have a dear friend who is Vietnamese, grew up, and she reminds me, she lives in Boston, and her family reminds me they're very similar. They owned a convenience store, and her oldest sister owns a nail salon. The other sister's a dentist. The husband's a dentist. She works in insurance. Her husband's in finance. But why? But it does seem like Asian cultures and Vietnamese for sure. You guys like pool your money. You all work together. What is kind of the secret of success? Because it seems like a lot of Vietnamese immigrants are very successful. What do you think it is that you all are doing that basically we need to do?
I think part of it is, a focus on education. We will go all the tiger mom thing. I think that's part of it. And I think that Vietnamese people, we pool our money for like Hoi and stuff like that. It's like where we all pool our money. And, it's instead of borrowing money from a bank, you have this pot that you can use to open your own business. And then when it's someone else's turn, you take another round right there and you support them. So it's a very tight-knit group. And we all support each other.
Oh my God.
Especially this, we work hard and we're willing to do good. That's all determined. Vietnamese people like that, especially with the older young generation, they want that whatever they struggled before, they want the kids to learn the new stuff. That you have the opportunity, which is in America. You cannot go wrong with that. You have to work hard and you have to determine who you are. And we push the kids hard. And we'll be sure we have their back all the time, no matter what.
Hey, it's a successful formula because outside of your family, I've seen it too. It works really well, and it's amazing. So, HBO Max, of course, the show is called House of Ho, and you both are on social media. Where can people follow you and find you?
Every Wednesday, 4-7, follow me. And in the morning, you can follow Judy.
She's Aunt Tina on Instagram, and I'm Judy Ho on Instagram. We're promising each other that we're going to start posting more. We've been
Aunt Tina with the 4 A's on the last one.
Oh, that's right. Aunt Tina.
Tina. I love it.
When are you get together and have a drink and celebrate my birthday?
Look, I'm coming to Houston because I'm pitching
you can join us.
I'm pitching Washington a TV show idea. I mean, he's clearly connected in Hollywood. So I'm pitching him a show idea. As soon as this damn virus, Tina, we need to get that goddamn vaccine. How do we get the vaccine?
We're all waiting.
We're all waiting.
Anyway, as soon as we do, I'm coming to Houston. I can't wait to party with you. Ladies, thank you for your time today. You're amazing. Continued success.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yay, thank you.
Bye.
The hose, everybody, the hose.